Not quite.
Click go live.
Well, I have no idea.
Hey,
Processing. There's a lag on mine.
On me, I'm still waiting on you, but I got the message that you're live, but it hasn't made it to my TV yet. Oh, there it is.
All right, we're in YouTube land.
Hey.
Yay.
Yep. Hang on, I gotta
Double trouble.
Get your volume.
I gotta mute.
YouTube land.
There we go. Shut the TV up because there's like a probably 15-second delay. Man, hang on. I want to.
Gotcha.
Go.
Well, thanks for coming, you guys. Thanks to DJ for talking me through. Oh, we got Jim here. Hold on, let me add Jim in. I guess he got stung by a.
Oh, Jim made it. Cool.
Wasp or something yesterday. I click add.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Bring him back. Bring him back. You lost
James.
Him,
Wait a sec. I hit. Wait a sec. Click on. Wait a sec. He's got a big icon across. Oh, wait. Add to stream. Hold on.
Hey, Dan's here. And James is back.
Okay. Is James on the screen?
On the screen.
Yep.
Screen.
We got a James.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can give you probably a half hour.
Okay. He's not blue. Everyone else is blue. Maybe it takes a second for him to get blue. Is he on your screen? Because I see 4 people. Do I got to click something else?
I've got all 5 of you here and 5 of you up there. Oh, now you're big.
Oh.
Who's big? I'm big?
You're big.
You're big. All right, let me click back to more equitable. I don't know if it's going to work. Different views you can pick. And it's like a 15-second delay.
Definitely is.
How's that?
I don't know. I can't see it right at the moment.
There we go. We're changing a little bit. There we are.
Good enough. So James, you're recovering pretty good.
All right, now I'm big on my screen.
Yeah, I got a little bit of
Go ahead.
a brain fog going on because of the med. It was a step short of anaphylaxis. If you guys that episode of Bang where Howard Wolowitz eats peanuts into the lost stuff all puffed up on my face that way.
Okay.
You guys there? It just went quiet.
I feel like I should. I feel like I should reboot. I got something dragging me down, but
Yeah, there's a couple second delay
keep going with
from
it.
you guys.
If you can hear me.
Didn't know if it was on my end or your end.
All right. Well, I hate to reboot because then I'll lose everybody. So let's keep on going, okay? All right. So I just published. I know, bad timing. I released a video a couple minutes ago. I got a new shop truck, and one of the taillights fell off, and it was bad MIG welding. Was the cause. And I kind of showed some of the welding, and it was a bird's nest. So when you guys get a chance, check that video out. But I got like 3 fire trucks, and none of them, they all have tires or they need something. So I ended up buying this Chevy flatbed just to have a shop truck to haul machinery. One dually, 350 with a 5-speed, so pretty versatile.
Oh, cool. Diesel or gas?
350 Chevy, gas. TBI injection.
Sweet.
So, but I'm still thinking about going up to Buffalo maybe next week. I'll have to, if I do, I'll let you guys know who I might want to stop by. So what did you guys think of last week? I know I did some manuals up against the camera. Was that kind of cool, or was that not good?
Well, seeing those tags are cool.
Seeing what?
Seeing those metal tags that you'd got from the elevator shaft and stuff, that was cool. I'm not getting anything
appreciate
from the
that.
audio, DJ.
I tried.
Yep, there we go. I turned my
There you
mic off on accident. Thanks, Tom. Winning.
But, I mean, see, I mean this the lamp. These old catalogs are just hold on. Surface grinder magnets, and just crazy. Top, and it's much to be desired. Here, let's see here.
Get some focus. There we go. This is where you do make yourself big, Doozer.
Yeah, you're so little. It's
What's
hard
that?
to see anything. Said you're
Now
it's
is
so
where
small.
you make your screen big so we can all actually see it.
All right. Well, let me
Stretch
forget
your
that.
TV screen out.
Spread my TV out.
Cody, what are you cooking on these days?
I'm starting to build on some shears for the punch press I got recently.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a 1/4-inch deep cut and shattered a bunch of inserts on my new face mill, so I'm waiting on more.
Oh. What size inserts are they?
I think SPG 420 series. So like 14.
Are those squares?
So,
Cody, are those the little square units or?
yeah, they're square, 1/2-inch square with like 11 degrees of relief and 1/8 thick.
Hang on. Ooh, 1/8 thick. Wow, that's really thin.
Yeah, I'm going to try to find some thicker ones. But
if you can handle thicker, I might have something in the box. But if I try to stand up, I'm going to yank these out of my head, and I'm going to feel like a bigger idiot than I already am. Remind me after.
Where I did stall the clutch on the K&T for a good 10 seconds. Taking that cut.
Oh, yeah. You'll figure out how much she will or won't do. Cincinnati's told me it just doesn't like high RPM. Low, oh, man, she will eat. You get it up top,
Yeah. I might need to adjust the clutch on it, but I think I just need to drop a gear next time.
Yeah. Torque is your friend.
Oh, yeah.
So what kind of goofy indicator are you trying to show us there, Doozer?
I don't know. I got it on eBay.
Like the one with the dial on
Do all?
sides.
That was the other
Well, the other
one. This one's got like a weird doggy leg. There you go.
Yeah, that is a strange,
Isn't that neat?
but actually kind of interesting setup because it gets the your face right up there to you.
Yeah, I guess for clocking bores, it would be just jam up.
Yeah,
I think it's a verdict made in England.
Oh no, I'm not digging through inserts right now. That is interesting. James, when are you going to get the rest of your
I bought these on
accessories
eBay.
for your machine?
Well, I've got a few already that I really haven't talked about. I have a coolant and air pump, original from a guy, and all the piping. Except I do not have. There's these little iron return plenums that go on the upper table. Apparently, at the extremes of travel, the oil return holes get uncut, and these act as little extension wings to direct back coolant back down through the knee. So he is. I got to get on him to get me those things. It's just he hasn't removed machine, but that's coming up as a project. I just finished the ER wallet holder nuts. I had a question for you guys, for you real men out there, because I put a piece of stock in that thing, and I had like 6,000 out. I know the Chinese, it may not be great, but I didn't think they'd be that far off. So I'm kind of thinking the chip or something up in the taper, in between the ER collar chuck and the actual taper. And I have not indicated the actual bore where the ER collar chuck sits, with the nut off, the axle nut off. So I'm gonna do that first and see if that's running true, and then if it's not, got to go up in deeper and try to clean out the BT30 taper in the spindle. But
So
I'm loving it because pop different size bits in very easily with that.
Mm-hmm. So now you can fit a BT30.
How much runout have again?
I had 6,000 TIR on a piece of 1 1/8 round stock from McMaster that it had a pretty good. I don't think it was turned ground, but it was a nicely machined OD, and it just seemed high, real high.
Yeah, that's a lot of run out for something like that.
How much runout?
6,000
On the adapter?
on the shank of the 1 1/8 piece of stock I was turning. I was making an arbor.
Did you measure it at
for
the
those,
pellet bore?
20-degree milling cutters. I showed a picture of those things.
Yeah.
Cuts like surfaces like glass. It's unreal how smooth it is. But I made a rookie mistake. Brought the 1 1/8 stock down. I was sneaking up on 5/8 diameter or thousandths press, and I ran my numbers, and I said, well, I can take 3 30,000ths, and then I'll have a few thousandths left for cleanup. And so I took my 3 30,000ths cuts and took my mics out, and I was way. I had forgotten. I'm working like a lathe now, in 36 thousandths on the diameter. I believe.
Oh, we've never done that.
Yep. So start another one.
Oh, Cody's showing something cool. What are you working on there, Cody?
Oh, I was just moving. See if I can't get some better internet. The audio is coming through all right, but the video is not.
Yeah, I'm getting choppy audio, but the video is good on my end.
Huh.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I'm getting choppy.
And no, if you're still out there
I got
watching,
one tool I'd like to
you really
present,
gotta get in
guys,
there.
if you haven't ever seen it.
Go for it.
So this is a Kingman white sine bar.
What's with the different diameter?
There you go. Can you see Kingman white microsine? Or
You can see a mini sign or
can you
something.
see that?
Mm-hmm.
Mini sign, yeah. What the deal is, it's a 2.5 inch sine bar,
Oh,
and
it's a smaller bar.
it's magnetized, and it's got a V on there. You can put it on a shaft,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can put that on a shaft, and then you can set your gauge blocks. If you want to set your compound on your lathe and indicate that, you can stick that, pretend my finger is the shaft, and it's the handiest thing, and not many people know about them. Kingman White. I think Kingman White made key slaughters also.
So now that smaller pin is on the same plane, center to center, but you can run a 1/10 gauge block, if you will, or 100 and a 1/10 to get 1/10
Yes.
lift. Okay, that explains that. Took a second for my brain to conceive it.
Yeah. See, it goes down. I think it's shy by 100.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's not parallel, so I think you got to add 100 to be a 0.
Right.
Or level, parallel.
Well, your smallest gauge block
So
is
kind of neat. Came in
110th.
white. If you see them on eBay, right?
Me and
So kind of neat tool to set your angles.
Since we're doing tell.
Well, sure.
Here's one of these cutters.
Yeah, that thing is weird. It almost seems like
wow. That's a valve C cutter.
And then, yeah, there you go.
Half body with a 5/8 bore, and it's got a set screw for a dry, for a flat.
Mm-hmm.
I just made it a press, but then these flat carburetors, they got a 20-degree angle to the piece, and it's a left-hand. It's actually a left-hand turning tool, because the rake, the clearance angles on the tops of them are opposite. Everything else I've got, and there's almost no clearance. They're very flat on top. So I'm wondering what they were originally for, cast iron, or I was wondering if it's going to cut steel.
Doing valves.
Look how many there are.
It's almost like a burnishing finish, more than an actual machining.
Yeah, I mean, I ran it real slow, scraping little chips. But I'm just gonna keep the RPMs low, feed speeds low, and I'm gonna use it to knock. You know how hex nuts have a chamfer on the hex on the top side of the nut. A lot of times it's like 15, 20. That's what I'm gonna do to finish off those nuts. Basically, I want to machine every external surface so they're perfectly in balance. We had just a tremendous run out of the bore to the facets and to the OD.
That's interesting. Oh, what are you cooking?
Do you guys think that that's a valve C cutter?
In left hand, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Nope.
And I'm gonna drop this mic.
There's no name on it, even know who made the things.
A left hand what?
Look on Goodson's website, you might find it.
Well, answer
Did
your
that come
DJ,
through?
You're muted. Yeah, you said you're looking it up, dude.
Am I muted?
No,
I'm
DJ
muted.
was. He's
I
back
unplugged
now.
my mic. I was hoping that might improve the audio a wince somehow. I don't know.
My mic sporadic, it seems. It's like if we talk over each other, then it completely blacks one audio stream out. I don't know why.
I don't know. This is why Harold MCs these things.
This might be real.
Oh wow.
Is that English or German or American? I'm gonna go.
I think it's real. German, I think. I don't know.
Where'd you come
It's
up with that?
With some coins I bought off some coins off a collector, right? Oops.
Hey, anybody else watching the live chat? We got 2-3 votes for bell seat cutter on Jim's stuff.
I'm in the wood shop. Maybe some of you guys haven't seen my American bandsaw.
I don't know about this wood stuff. Guy's got a K&T number 2, and he's like, "Hey, we're in the wood shop." Yeah.
Here you go. I give these out occasionally at work.
Frame one of those for my door.
Got a prism.
Oh, that's neat.
Pink Floyd.
This it's out of a Bochum bore bar grinding fixture, aligning something with the Bochum bars,
Wow.
and I couldn't throw it away.
No,
Right?
You don't want something like that away.
No, that's got amazing clarity.
Say what?
That's got amazing clarity. You were showing through the large face, if you will.
We were seeing doubles.
Yeah.
You guys see this?
Triumph?
A lot of the parts I'm making on the K&T are for this Spitfire project of my son's. He doesn't put very often. He's a Mustang T5 mission coupled high engine. And the rear end for this thing is out of a Mitsubishi. So it's going to be a hybrid of about five makes. I mean, he's not going to know what badge to put on it.
Supercharged Tecumseh engine, six horsepower, using a smog pump from a Ford Escort, and the intercooler is a radiator core from a Chevy Cavalier.
I once saw a guy put a turbo on a hit and miss engine.
What? How long did that last?
It didn't last very long. He was trying
I
to use
saw that.
It was for a forge, I think. He wanted to use the turbo as a forge blower.
Oh, yeah. It seems like a good way to make it rain sparks.
Yeah, I think there are easier ways to do what he was trying to.
Cheaper, too.
Yeah.
Hey, DJ, email I sent, is that a reversing drum switch that you're trying to wire up in the grinder?
No. 9-pin. Here. Yeah, I've never seen anything like this. And Google, usually I can find, it's electricity. It's not that hard. My God, it is.
Three-pole double throw.
Right. I mean, you've got on, off, on, or forward, reverse, on.
It's just
I got to sit down and meg it out or ring it out.
They should, your center should be common, and then when you're left or right on the toggle, your common is going to be hooked either to the right bank of terminals or to the left. So you can use it as a reversing switch if you connect, like L1 and L2. You feed L1 and L2 to both sides. If you cross connect it as you go across the other end, then it'll reverse your motor.
Okay.
Yeah,
please draw me a diagram and send that to me. I mean, I've got what is she? 6 leads coming out of this motor. 5? No, 6 leads coming out of the motor. It's oh hell, it's right here. Yeah, that's that cutter or carbide grinder I just picked up.
Could also be a 2-speed motor. And you got low and high. Are they labeled?
I've got T3 and a lot of grime. I haven't gotten that far in. I started pulling it apart last night, then I decided to start researching, and that's as far as I got, and then it was sleepy time, and I had to work today.
Yeah. Yeah, see if you can get the wire numbers. Most motors will have two wires paralleled together to hook to your incoming power, and then when you line them up, you're hooking one lead, and then you've got the pigtails just tucked away in the pecker head there.
Yeah, I'm not 100%. I mean, there's wires jumpered to wires. It's the wildest thing I've ever seen in simple 110 motor wiring. I don't even comprehend it. It's so weird.
I know a lot of three-phase motors will have wiring like that. They'll have a bunch of different wires coming from the coils, but there'll be a wiring diagram that you use.
Right. There's, I'm not going to flip it over, but there is a diagram right on the front of it, but it's not equating.
Huh.
It's really goofy. I'm wondering if this 9-pin was the stock switch or not, because, I mean, well, this is the one that the guy sent with it, along with another cap, because he thought it was the cap. And then he's got a 9-pin new one in there, and just, I don't know. It is definitely the goofiest switch. I could see just a standard 3-way switch working fine, but with 9 poles, my brain's not locking onto it. And there's like one schematic I found, which is hand drawn from Practical Machinist, but it doesn't show anywhere where the start capacitor is sitting, and you're going to have to switch that to get your rotation. You know, which on the other side of it, I don't know why I'm really messing with it, because I don't need it in reverse at all, but it came in reverse, so you might as well put it right, eh?
Yeah, that's a weird motor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was made in Pittsburgh. What do you expect?
Ooh, what's that on your wheel head or work?
What's that, Doozer?
That's your wheel head motor or work head motor?
None of the above. It's do you watch AR or Dean? Or just redid his ball door carbide grinder. It's just one of them with the double shoulders, 2 wheels.
Oh yeah.
But it's still high speed. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was last week's adventure. Here to New York to Ohio and back home by 1 o'clock.
Huh.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, if it doesn't have 4 wires, if it has 3 wires, it's hard to reverse, because I know there's a start run coil.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have both, sometimes it's.
So as I'm sitting here yapping away, I'm calling out the hive mind help. We all know who Garden Tractor Boy is, right?
Mm-mm.
Yep.
Okay, I know he's subbed to at least Cody and Doozer.
Yep.
He's got a Cincinnati FC1, or a 1C, sorry. It's a Toolmaster, but it's kind of like Jim's mill. It's very rare and very unique. But somebody crashed it hard enough that it just destroyed a couple of gears. And I've yet to find anything part-wise for him. And I've made a couple of calls since Cody pointed me again. It's, oh yeah, hey, try this. Okay, Cody. Well, no luck so far. I want to figure out a way to set him up so he can cut his gears and get his power feedback.
Hmm.
You thinking braze them in and then grind a tool bit and then single point each tooth?
Maybe. I mean, Cody saw the photo.
One of those gears was completely stripped. There's no way. Yeah.
I think that lower one would be the softer of the 2 gears, and yeah, it just ate it.
I've seen them too. You sent them to me as well.
Yeah. You just never. Okay, I didn't know if you actually got that because you didn't respond.
Now, is it power feed for the X?
It's just for
Does it
the
drive?
table in general. Nothing to do with the spindle, table only.
Maybe use a servo type feed and retrofit that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Figure out a
Luckily,
way
it's only
to.
a couple of gears, so. But one of the gears is on the shaft that is connected to another gear, so you'd have to make two of them with the shaft and all that. If you
In
wanted
that
to replace
schematic,
it.
it didn't look like the gears were independent, but I don't know. We won't know until he pops that apart.
The big one I know is like two gears on the end of a shaft, and they're connected in the middle. The big one is. The little one, I have no idea. I couldn't
Okay.
find a schematic that showed the little one.
Oh, I thought that was all in one there on that 177B or whatever that was.
Yeah, that's the big one.
I don't know. I was figuring find a way to find him a moderately priced dividing head and send him some cutters and let him go to town. Make him learn. Or
Yeah,
something along those lines, you know? Little guy's got a lot of mind to fill up, and we can influence him with good stuff.
yeah.
You know, I went through something similar on my Gorton 9J mill, and Jim seen it when he stopped over, and it was the worm gear was worn out, and there were two bevel gears. The teeth were missing off the 90-degree bevel gears, and I found it's still a project. I'm rerouting the power. I linked some of the gear reduction. It was in the primary reduction, 30-to-1 reduction. When the motor comes in at whatever 1800 RPM. So I've done all this planning and done all this work for the power feed on Norton, and the gearbox itself, it's like a Norton quick change, and the thing is bloody heavy, and I'm almost thinking to save weight on the knee, I should just retrofit some servo brand power feed, much as I'd like to keep it original. What do you guys think when it comes to weight on your knee and just more modern?
With my machine, I wouldn't worry about weight, but
I mean, what's the table rating on that thing, Doozer? 1,200 pounds? 1,500?
In theory, I guess, yeah, 1,000 plus.
Yeah, I mean, I know mine's probably 3. Cody's has got to be at least 2.
mine's about 1,500.
Yeah. I know I didn't get to you last time.
Yeah, I guess I'm worried nothing.
I'm gonna leave you a parting shot of oldie but a goodie.
Ooh.
Nice.
Fearless power hack.
That's up Cody's alley there.
The dang video's not coming through.
Something that you're really going to like, but you just can't see, Cody.
Yeah.
And actually, both of these guys might be able to give you some other inspiration if you ever get back onto yours.
There was a factory in Buffalo called Crosby Machine. They're a stamping outfit, and they got a Peerless. I think it's a Peerless hacksaw. The thing would slice a 2 foot by 2 foot dimension piece of stock. It's just huge, very impressive, and they still use it on occasion, like a tool and die shop.
Bye, Jim.
I know that Racine, sort of my unicorn machine at the moment, is a Racine 2020. It's a shear cut hydraulic hacksaw that can cut 20-inch by 20-inch material. Weighs about 5,000 pounds.
Hydraulic, nice.
That's a
Cool.
lot
Nice.
of saw, Cody. I mean, 20 by 20, what are you planning on cutting up, and how are you going to move it?
Pretty much anything with a crane.
I don't think your one-ton crane's going to qualify for this game, bud.
Well, it'll help build the bigger one.
There you go.
All right, James seems to have been knocked off or something.
Yeah, his half
Maybe
hour
it'd be more
must be
bandwidth
up.
for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he couldn't stay very long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
He
cooking, Tom?
didn't
You
look
go
very
quiet again.
energetic.
No.
Been actually getting some work from some local farmers. So I just finished up a manure spreader.
Again?
I mentioned it to you, but the video comes out just coming up
Oh.
Wednesday. Yeah, I mean, I got that wrapped up. I had to make a bunch of brackets, weld them on, and just fix a bunch of that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's probably the latest project. And then just yesterday, finally got the wood stove plumbed in. That was a chore. So I had some heat for the shop this winter.
Yeah,
just trying to get stuff ready, because
How do you
winter's knocking quick. Go ahead, Doozer.
Tom, how do you like that metal shop that you put up? I know you got it insulated, and I forget who. Someone on Home Shop Machinist was asking me about doing a stick-built shop because, and I commented because mine's moon frame, and we were talking about, different ways and insulating it and just whatever. Do you find your metal shop was a good decision versus stick-built or barn type construction?
Yeah, and my reasoning was I don't have to worry about fire. Don't have to worry about termites, painting it, all that other stuff. I mean, once, red iron, it's going to be there forever. And if you've got enough good friends that can come over and help you out.
Clearspan you got, right?
I end up going with General Steel, but,
Yeah.
they're all the same packages. General had a better review for most people, but at the end of the day, they're just as greedy. And once they get your money, the customer support isn't there like all the rest of the other companies. So a little bit disappointed in that. But the building itself is, I've been happy with it. I went with 6-inch insulation in the roof and then 4 inches on the wall. And then of course the 2 12x12 doors, they're 2-inch insulated.
Nice.
So, so she stays warm in there once you got the heat inside. So, pretty tickled. And then, of course,
wood stove or what?
Yeah, I got a wood stove going to be my primary if I'm going to be in there all day. And then, of course, I've got the turbo, kerosene heater to kind of just take the chill off if I'm just going to be in there for a little while.
Yeah. Nice.
And
my old man did spray foam.
That's cool.
Man, that's the way to do it. You actually
see,
getting it to breathe.
My first shop there, 10 minutes down the road from Doozer, believe it or not, I didn't even know he was there until I moved.
Yeah.
But my first building was a I can't remember.
It was an arch type thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's an arch type. Yeah, and so I spray insulated that, and that was great. I mean, I could get it warm, and then just put the small heater on, and it'd stay warm in there all day long. And then in the afternoons and the evenings, especially in the summertime, it'd be 10 degrees cooler inside than it is outside in the summer. So the insulation really worked well, and it was fire resistant. The only problem is, it dents real easy, so you're gonna have to line your walls 4 or 5 feet just to keep it from getting torn up.
See, some of these guys don't realize up in like New York, you get 2 foot insulation in the attic, and that's normal. That's so much, but that's what we use.
Man,
you're living in Buffalo at the east end of Lake Erie. That's a lot of flat plain to carry a lot of cold
and damp.
Yes, and damp.
And I tell people they don't realize if it's minus 20 outside, it's almost doesn't feel as cold as if it's 20 above because there's no humidity at minus 20. But I don't know how, but at 20 above, there's humidity. I still don't know how that works, but it's the truth.
When I used to commute on bikes, like you'd be 10 to 20 was the coldest. Sub 10 degrees, fine to go. Above 20, good to go. In the teens, you were like frozen, hands numb, the whole 90. I don't know what other than maybe humidity. It was humidity. Crazy.
Yeah.
And that was when I lived in Buffalo.
So for Tom, sorry to interrupt. For Tom, so I'm on Nelson Road in Min Hill. They cut all the trees in front on the other side of my street, and I can see Town Hall from my mailbox. All those trees are gone. They clear cut it.
Wow.
And you can see McEwen Lake. I mean, it's wide open, man. They're putting 100 homes across the street from me.
Ew.
Oh, that sucks. Did they open that shopping center across from like
all the deer are in my yard?
What was it like Snap Fitness and all that? They were building that shopping center before I left. Yep. They got that done.
Mm-hmm. Snap Fitness on where?
Right there on Pineville Matthews Road.
51.
Yeah, right there at 51. Close to town.
I don't know,
that little strip mall. They were building the across.
Oh yeah, that's.
Is that all done?
Yeah, fitness places come and go. They come and go. They change so much.
Okay.
Probably the rent's so high.
I think they were going to put a Chick-fil-A in there or something too, or something they talked about. I don't know if that happened.
Oh, there's a Chick-fil-A. They put a traffic light by the Chick-fil-A.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, so they've really grown up. Man.
God's chicken, don't you know?
That's right. Because I moved there in 96 and it really changed.
Yeah, it's constant. I can walk to the bar. I walked to the bar Friday and I walked to the bar Saturday.
The Char Bar 7?
Yeah, I can walk there or Dunwell's down at the other plaza.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was new. Yeah,
but so my next set of videos, I think I need to get into that CNC Milltronics a little bit. I got that from work for $1,000, and it was running the day before, and it was making Rickson pivot hinges, which are brass, and it was in the prototype shop, so it's pretty much only done brass. Never used coolant on it, at all. So it should be a nice mill. I got all the insulation in high bay. I've got plywood on the walls. I bought a bunch of 3/4, 5/8 plywood before COVID, and I says I might as well use it, So that's up. So now I got to run electrical over there, and I'd still like to make that high bay exclusively for welding and automotive work, and move the CNC and then the Pratt & Whitney to a new addition. I want to build 30-foot onto the shop and separate that with a wall and put all the grinders at the end, and then have the mills in the front part of that extension. So that's my plans coming up.
So you're going to move those big machines again eventually?
Well, yeah, and it's going to connect. The slabs will connect. I'll just put a door in there.
Okay, so you can just kind of do rollers.
Main shop is, yeah, it's on just 5/8 bar stock, and people say, "How do you do it with that?" I mean, it's just a pry bar and some bar stock. I mean, my 10,000-pound Pratt Whitney jig bore, I move on 5/8 rollers. My Giddings and Lewis horizontal boring mill, I move on the 5/8 rollers. The Rockford open side planer, that's 9,000 pounds. And to turn it, you just bar it sideways and just skid it sideways, Maybe that would make a good video. Show people how to move a big machine and do a time lapse, and just, it's like a 1/2 inch at a time.
I did that, but I did it with a winch because. What's up, Doozer?
Oh yeah. No. I was gonna say I invited got my brain with a K. Kirk bought the lathe. Kimber Zellick. I invited Kimber Zellick to our discussion. I called him last night and to see how he's doing, and I don't know, I talked to him for about 20 minutes, half hour, And so he used to drive like ABF freight. So he's
Okay,
used to moving heavy things a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
And I was talking to somebody on Home Shop Machinist, and the topic kind of drifted towards like everybody's stuck on either a South Bend lathe or a mini lathe because they don't they're not
Space.
experienced with moving stuff, and they're kind of afraid of it.
Well,
And hats off to Kimber for stepping up to a 3,000-pound Pratt and Whitney lathe. And I think that's why, because he's got experience moving stuff in his former job. So that guy, I give him a lot of credit. It's a little thing to us, but having someone step up from a Harbor Freight lathe to a Pratt Whitney lathe, I'm proud of the guy. I totally am.
Yeah.
That's it.
the first time he goes from a 10 thou cut to a 250 thou cut, he's gonna be like, that was worth it. But
Yeah.
Kimber, if you're watching this, those Pratt and Whitneys, just like mine, just like Doozer's, are super control side heavy. Be aware of that. Super heavy, like not a biased center line at all for the weight.
Yes, for tippiness.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen
Yep.
photos of P&Ws with the handles just trashed. If you search around, I think there's a couple of posts on Practical Machinists about that. And I did the same thing coming out of a horse trailer. And of course, back then, there was a little cant in the driveway. And of course, where were the controls? On the downhill side.
Ooh.
Not fun.
Well,
But the horse trailer was the best
I
aspect
did not
of the
video
whole
it. I did not video it, but I should have, because it would have got a lot of views. When I unloaded the Pratt & Whitney lathe, I got a 3,000-pound Clark air tire forklift. And I had it on the truck, the long way, and I picked it up from the headstock the long way and took it off the truck. And the back end of the forklift wanted to come up the counterweight. So I took my bucket loader with the tractor and I put the bucket on top of the counterweight, and it was enough. And then I pulled the truck away, and then I let it down. But it was sketchy as frig, and I should have videoed it because it would have been a great.
No.
I mean,
Don't give
a
anybody
pound of
else
sugar on the
an
back
idea.
would have made the difference, or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
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 Moving this punch press was about the sketchiest thing I'd done recently. That counterweight or that flywheel on it puts the center line on the right front foot.
Yeah.
All the weight is right there.
And it's so high up, too.
Yeah.
I'm still blown away
remember
how fast you got that together.
It's a super, super simple machine. There's just a couple of bores and a couple of slides.
Yeah, it's still impressive in its own. Like that thing.
I remember
for you two that haven't probably watched that video yet, you should. Sorry, I'm going to plug the hell out of Cody because I'm just thankful that he's alive.
Still.
Oh,
yeah.
So I was going to say, my dad and my father and I were talking about moving heavy things. So he's been in carpentry / construction all his life. And he was working at Harrison Radiator in Buffalo. And Higgins Rigging was moving some kind of press. And he was there as a carpenter or something, and it said on the press to fill it with oil before you take it off the hook. And nobody's seen this, and apparently the oil was a counterweight. So Higgins moved it and set it down, and they unhooked it, and like a couple minutes later, it just fell over because the oil was a part of the counterweight or something of the balance. And that sounds awful sketchy, but Dad swears it's true.
How do you change the oil? And I mean, if it's a hydraulic machine, every 1,000, 2,000 hours, you should swap out your oil.
You'd think, unless you bolt it to the
Pin it to a
floor.
wall. Right.
I mean, it
No,
could be
that's
a big
true, too.
punch press, and there's just a drain in the bottom, and they're just using the oil for counterweight to hold it down so the flywheel doesn't tip her over. But that had to hurt.
I don't know. Was it? I don't even know if it was OBI or what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. My steel guys.
But
got four
going
of
to the
them, and they're
tippy
so
stuff.
tall.
Yeah. Well, going back to the lathes, I've read on, I think, Practical Machinist that the handy tool and gauge maker like I have, the controls and the bed is offset so much to the front that guys have taken out the motor generator for doing a conversion with the drive, and that was the counterweight. And when you take the motor generator out, they become super top heavy. And so if I do my conversion, maybe I'll just leave the motor generator inside.
Yeah. Or just put a block of lead down there.
Yeah. Yeah. Store my anvil. Railroad track.
Hang a couple of cinder blocks on it.
Yeah. Solid blocks. But I'm still trying to sell my South Bend. I'm still trying to sell that Van Norman piston grinder. Still trying to sell that Deckel FP1. Like I think there's no metalworking people that I don't know. I just think there's we're one of the few people that are into this stuff. I feel so much.
They're out there, but you just got to find them. I mean, I don't know. It's weird because there's a blacksmithing club right here local, but none of them seem to be into machines. Other than my cousin,
Because it's
he's
not
way up in Jamestown.
Well, the precision, people I think are afraid of precision with blacksmithing. You know, if you're making blades, I mean, it's precision. I'm not putting it down, but micrometers and tenths and, you know, it's not the same. I don't know. They just feel more comfortable with it, I think.
Yeah.
It's different what?
It's human work mostly, not machines.
Yeah.
So.
And it's pretty satisfying to do that. The feedback you get from custom, you know, it so much. What's it called? Self-accomplishment. When you do that, I find.
Yeah. There's a lot of like mills and such. Blacksmiths. Some blacksmiths don't like to use them because it's like, oh, that's cheating. I know there's a couple of them that hate people even, you know, selling handmade knives and not making their own steel. So there's sometimes a bit of what do you call
Purist?
Yeah,
gatekeeping, maybe.
I mean, we are talking to a guy who forged his own 40 taper holder. That was pretty rad.
Well, let me ask you about blacksmithing tools, if I may.
Yeah.
So the evolution of metalworking is you start off with a small lathe and a small mill, and you get a bigger one, and you take bigger cuts, and it's more satisfying because you get the job done quicker. Now you guys get the power hammers, right? You get the power hammers, and there's different kinds. There's steam ones. There's eccentric weights and spring loaded with the car springs. And forgive me, I don't know exactly, but is that the same thing, right? You get more experience. You want a better tool, more power tools, take bigger cuts, make bigger hits. It's the same kind of, right?
It's almost the exact same with starting out with like bench mills and bench lathes, whereas a blacksmith was started out with a very small coal forge and a very small, maybe a Harbor Freight anvil or a railroad track anvil. And then both of them would just kind of build up bigger and bigger machines and better capability, larger anvils, larger forges, power hammers. So yeah, it is about the same, I'd say.
Nice. In the anvil thing, I can totally see it because I am a history buff when it comes to machines. And when you guys with the anvil, there's so much history with each different brand, maker name on the anvils and the sizes and the history of what it's used for. It's just so cool. That really does appeal to me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
anything in history is cool. It doesn't matter where you're looking and what stands. Oh, speaking of history, did you all watch what's his name? Machine Thinking's new video on screws.
Yeah, I watched the new video of his.
Oh man, that dude's unreal. If you're anybody that's watching this, if you haven't subscribed to Machine Thinking, start with the origin of precision, and then just work your way through this stuff. The dude's a phenomenal documentarian, or at least parroting, research and parrot information back, and he makes excellent videos. Guy's got a couple million subs for a reason.
Oh, I found them a long time ago. That guy is phenomenal.
Yeah. It just breaks down the history of everything, and you're like, he did one on screws, and he just did a second one on how important screws are, and they really are. Without the screw, the world wouldn't have anything of what we have.
Yeah.
And Vukasan's Lathe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just that guy needs to make more videos. I know he's well produced, but those kind of videos that you mentioned, DJ, that guy made, it gets me so excited. I'm just gleaming watching and listening. I watched the videos 3 times, and like the origin of the measurement and the standards, and Moore's lead screws, and from lead screws we got into like the optical scales. And, I mean, I tell people, like, my SIP jig bore has the screws with the cam compensators to offset the zero. And then Moore just made accurate screws instead of compensating. Right. And I have this in my shop, and I just feel like I have this history. But when I watch his videos, okay, so now, I'm sorry for going off, but now we're doing optical scales, and we're doing magnetic scales. We record sine waves on a piece of steel or circuit board, and it's just so amazing. But we have this whole lineage and progression of the technology, and now a CNC mill, you can compensate the axis for geometry and just the offset of the measurement, and you can do jig boring work as accurate on CNC milling machines, especially a bed mill if the architecture is there. But it just blows me away. It's not my knee mill, of course, but if I fitted the Pratt & Whitney with CNC and linear scales instead of the rotary encoders on the servos, holy crap, would that be awesome. I want to do it.
Get to it, man. It's your machine.
The progression of machine tools has been absolutely amazing. It's been just mind-blowing to think of how things were made in, say, World War II. I just did a video on the Goddard and Goddard Tools That Go and Go book. That was about 40 minutes long, and just things are different.
Yeah. Or, I mean, hell, look at when Doozer, Tom, when we were kids, you didn't have the internet. You went to the library, and you waited 2 weeks at minimum to get whatever you wanted to reference. Now, you're not tethered to a wall for a phone. I mean, we kind of are, but we're literally looking at each other, talking to each other.
I know.
Yeah. And that's in, 30, 35 years. Just insane.
In the books that I got at the library in Buffalo, I was into electronics, were vacuum tubes. There were no transistor books. I had to learn vacuum tube stuff first. Yeah. And you take apart TV sets I'd find at the side of the road and radios. That's how I learned, man.
Oh, was it?
Then I got a mini bike and I turned into a mechanical engineer.
What was that? It was something on how the United States adapted preparing for World War II. Like, because they didn't know they were going to get into it. But just how the automakers adapted, how Dodge or Chrysler, Daimler Chrysler, if you will, figured out how to mass
with the
produce
tanks,
guns, and then tanks, and just the evolution. And I mean, that big gray pig there and the other one over there, all that era when the machines I thought they all got scrapped, but I really don't think that machining companies, Cincinnati, Pratt Whitney, all that, had anywhere near the production until the wartime demand. You know, everything just boomed right there, because that's how we see so many World War II era machines.
Yeah, the amount of milling machines and lathes and grinders and high production, turret lathes and such, it's just astronomical. And the quality never went down. The quality stayed there unless it was the paint job. But everything else was still amazing.
Yeah, but you still had the workers there. They were investing in the company and they wanted to make the best product. And if they saw a flaw, they would talk to the engineers and, it was a continually evolving thing. Whereas now you can't even get workers to come, let alone, want to be part of the company or be invested in it. They don't care, unfortunately, because that you see the products now.
Double-edged sword. The company doesn't give about
true. You're right.
Either. And I mean, you look at all this stuff we're talking about, and then too bad James isn't here. But to me, James's mill, that 2D it's just the epitome of engineering in a machine.
It is.
I mean, NC is a whole different level, and that was a whole nother step. But to be able to have 5-axis all working together, the freaking math that had to go into that.
Cool shit.
They were made in the 30s. The first ones were made in the 30s.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that was was the 2D out in the 30s?
Yeah, the very first ones were made in the 30s, but they got better and better as time went on.
I thought they were like an 8-year run in the 50s, and then NC came in and just killed it.
Nope. Oh. They were around in small numbers as early as the 30s.
And this is why I keep you around, Cody.
All
the answers.
Some historical interesting. So you guys know what knee action shocks are before the telescopic shocks? The lever action shock absorbers?
Cars? To see if it clicks.
I believe so.
You got a picture?
Well, it looks like a door closer, kind of, sort of. It's like a pot with an arm on it, and it went down linkage to the axle. Hudai Industries made them, right? Mm-hmm. But anyways, they were on Model A's, not Model T so much, but Model A's and stuff like that. Well, when Hudai Industries, when I was at Enidine, we bought Vibratech, which was part of Hudai, and Hudai was the guy in Buffalo that, there's some connection. He was from France and started the Hudai company in Buffalo. But when we acquired all them, we still had tooling to make Model A shock absorbers. Like back in the day, we still had this thing would stretch the O-rings, and we had big machines to exercise the shocks and adjust the friction of them and adjust. They had bimetallic thermal compensating valves inside some of these things. So when the oil heated up, the damping would be the same. But the tooling was still there. Fixtures that pressed down a cover with like spanner fingers and turned it under, because you couldn't twist it unless you had it under a press. But that stuff was still there. We had all this stuff. We had a 22-inch Camelback drill press, and all it did, it held a big spanner thing with a gear torque multiplier. So you brought down, I think it was a Buffalo drill press, a 22, and it was just a torquing fixture. But it was a Camelback drill press as tall as 8 foot, But all that stuff still existed when we bought them. Yeah. And a lot of that stuff. Remember the old diamond plate? You can't even find diamond plate like the old stuff. You know what I'm talking about? They're not crisscrossed. They're the checkerboards. Diamond plate. Like all that stuff is made, you can tell when it's old, right? Yeah. And we had a peener. It was made by High Speed Hammer Company in Rochester, New York. And this peener had a piece of oak, and it was on a rubber thing and a cam, and went brrrr. And I had blueprints from it because I made a couple riveting dies out of S7 tool steel, and I remember the thread was 9/16 18 thread, left-hand thread, and the print said 1923. The blueprint that I had was on paper, and it was 1923 for this high-speed hammer peener machine. And the thing had been welded about 16 times and brazed, and it had a leather belt, and it had a cone clutch, and you feathered it with your foot pedal, and the cone clutch was great. Leather faced, and it worked, and we kept it going. It just kept going. I was able to get from they were going to throw it out a belt sander from Hudai, and it's a 4x36, so you can get belts for it. It's probably from 1920. It's got a tight and a loose pulley. It's a belt sander. It's amazing. The rollers there's 4-inch needles or like dowel pins inside the roller. So as wide as the rollers are, there's 4-inch dowel pins, like 10 or 12 of them all inside there. I mean, the thing's going to last another 100 years. And it's just made in England on the back. It's a Peerless Sander Company, Syracuse, New York, but it was made in England. And it had to be around 1920s because 3M, right? Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing first invented sandpaper on that time. This has to be one of the earliest belt sanders I've ever seen. And I have this thing. I'm going to set it up with a motor eventually. But stuff like that just gets me excited. It's still around, you know.
Yeah, like the punch press that was,
I'll stop.
Punch press that was made 110 years ago that still works. I got it from I got it from another machinist named Adam from Small Town Machine Shop, who bought it from the grandson of the guy who bought it new, way back when. So it was hardly used in their shop. So
that's amazing. James, who had to go ahead.
I'll say it again. I wish I could take, and just walk you guys through my shop. It's so just decaying and dying slowly. They're trying to kind of band-aid it together, but all the old cold rolls, it's just insane. You look around, there's rolls everywhere for all these different airforms and hydroforms throughout time. How many jet engines did this stuff put together? But it's all just dying now. Even down to just having it ground instead of rolling it, because you get so much better of a finish and so much more accuracy. It's crazy.
One of the buildings in Buffalo was called. They recently demolished part of it and redid part of it. It was called F.N. Burt and Company, and they made barrel making equipment for wooden barrels. They didn't make the barrels. They made equipment for making the staves and the hoops and all this stuff and holding them. And they were in Buffalo, and they made castings for a lot of other companies in Buffalo. So they had patterns up on the second or third floor of numerous Buffalo companies because they had a big foundry. And these things were just being tossed in the dumpster. I mean, this was like 2 years ago. This was not that long ago when I was up there, and I seen it, and but there's so much like history in Buffalo that is just amazing. And I love the weather in Charlotte, but it's not an old town. There's no history here. And if there is, it's just a plaque on the side of the road where this was a gold mine or this was some, it's not a lot of history. But I love the history, so I miss Buffalo so much.
I think Buffalo's special is just because it really blossomed from the World's Fair into the Gilded Era, when everything was just so profound, all the tile work, everything is so, wow. So many crazy things. I mean, just walking around, like, I think we talked about this a little bit before. You look around Buffalo, the 4 L's, which is a swastika, but backwards. They're everywhere in that town. Just Pizza on North Main, right all the way around the bottom of City Hall. right at shoulder level. It's insane. Like
Yep.
every 25 or hell, probably more like every 15 feet. Just they really put a lot of stuff in there.
And the electric company in Niagara Square's got them too, all over.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sucks that there's not a lot of history like that in Washington.
But,
Those around the Bremerton shipyard on the coast. But other than that, the closest is to me is Hanford. They bought a bunch of machine tools, but they're all buried out in the sand because they're all radioactive now.
Oh wow!
Can't wash that off.
Crazy.
Oops.
Oh yeah, y'all realize that Cody lives like on the
But-
Manhattan Project, just about.
Yeah, my dad worked for it there, and I get
Where?
a bunch of
Where?
Hanford, where
Oregon.
they refined plutonium for the
Oh, okay.
for the Hanford project, and now it's a big nuclear reserve. There's,
Doesn't-
What's
Pardon?
that?
Doesn't Donnie live up there? Donnie? Dee or Donnie or Walla Walla. He's got 2 double E's. He's got an Exelson. He's got a Jigbor Moore.
Oh, Dee. I don't know
Dee
where
Dee?
he lives, but he's
Oh,
got
yeah,
some
not
cool
sure.
stuff.
I got no idea. I don't think I know.
Because he
who
keeps
is.
talking about the nuclear equipment.
Huh.
That's another one. Everybody watching. Find Deee. Give him a sub. He's got a collection of beautiful machines.
Yeah.
I've only watched him a little
and
bit.
he was on
Number 2.
Practical. No, he's been on Practical Machinist for 20 years, as long as I have. And his name was Donnie Walla Walla Walla, like Washington.
Yeah, Walla Walla is about an hour from here.
That's probably
Yeah.
about it then.
So he might be your neighbor, but
Yeah.
he was just kicked off a PM because he thought thermite was going to shoot him or something. I don't remember. He's on a 3-month hiatus from PM.
Oh.
But he's fun to watch. I mean, he's so enthusiastic about his machines. I mean, kind of like I am, but even more so.
Come on, Doozer. You
Larkin
were all
Soap,
set to
yes,
get on
Larkin
the
Soap was a big
ARW
part of
last week.
Buffalo.
Oh, shoot.
I was responding to Daniel Abbey's comment about Larkin Soap. Actually, that Walker Turner radial drill press came out of the Larkin Soap building
Oh, really?
that I sold James.
Huh.
Yeah, I bought that many years ago, and I also sold him a 1885 Barnes drill press.
Didn't see that in that way.
And that thing, I knew it was between 1885 and 1887 because the base was round. In 1887, they switched to a square base. So old blacksmithing drill press. I had it forever, never used it. Now Jim has it there, an engineer's workshop.
Has anybody seen his kid's YouTube channel yet that he speaks of but won't share the link to for anyone? No.
Mm-mm.
Brandon?
I don't know what the kid's name is. I caught it once when they did your tour, but
I have not.
you broke up real bad there, Doozer.
Oh, I said I've met Brandon, but I've not seen his channel.
Yeah, that's where the rebuild of the Walker Turner is. So,
Oh,
Okay.
I think I know
Well, I
what
need
you're
to-
talking about.
well, then share
I need
the
to check
kid's
it out.
channel because his dad won't even share it.
Well, I think
That's
I know
funny.
what you're talking. I don't know if I've seen the video, but I know what restoration you're talking about. I think I heard mention of it whenever I was looking for information when I was going to be getting a Walker Turner drill, radial
Yeah.
drill.
I'm bummed you didn't get that. Those things are
You
so
know-
cool.
Yeah.
When James and Brandon came to pick up that drill, they did like a little video tour of my shop, so they were able to film me talking about my machines, and that's on James' website
channel
there, Engineers Workshop, and man, that was a really good. Like he really did a good job of filming my stuff. I'm jealous because I don't have anything on my channel that's that well done. Josh Topper's camping, he says.
yeah. I messaged him and he's like, I'm in the boondocks, man. So okay, cool, go enjoy your family. But he must not have stayed away too long because he's still here. Milbert.
I
don't know who Milbert
hope
is.
he does well with this COVID recession. He's got some awesome machines over there.
Yeah, he has a great shop.
Yeah.
Josh.
I want to see more of that.
I want to see more of that Monarch Model N.
The big 24?
Sorry. Yeah, that thing's neat.
Yeah.
Model Lathe. A lot of crane to get your part on.
So I wanted to say, I want to say one thing. People were talking to me when I got the Pratt & Whitney, and they're like, "Hey, Doozer, that's a really cool lathe," and it is. But think about this. I'm realistic about this. It's got straight cut gears, right? Which is good. And the reason it's straight cut gears is the gears, they mesh, right? They go in and out when they shift, right? Now, Monarch used helical gears, right? So the teeth are angled, so they're quiet, right? They're quiet running gears in the Monarch because they're helical. So they cannot use sliding gears. They have to use dog clutches, like in and out clutches. So it's a little more complicated headstock, but it's more quiet. Now, the Sydney lathe, like
Noah's,
like Metal Butcher's got there. Noah's got there. Now that's herringbone, right? It's like helical together.
Yeah, herringbone.
It's herringbone, which is top of the heap, right?
How does that not lose time?
I know my Pratt & Whitney's cool, but it's at the bottom of the barrel as far as the headstock gear train goes, and it's 18 speed. But you got to be realistic. Got all these features, but as far as the gears go, it's kind of the lower tier of the gear set.
Work with what you got. I don't care if you got a P&W, you got Noah's Sydney that he says is clapped, or his new Doosan, or even Cody's Chinese unit. Run them. Make your parts.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Learn until it dies, and it will hopefully die soon.
Don't go killing your dad's lathe.
I'll pay him handsomely for it. I've beat the crap out of that thing.
Double helical, yeah, double helical. But talking about people getting into the hobby or the trade, I think Noah is the youngest fellow that I know that is into the stuff that we're all into. Now, I'm 46, and I thought I was on the young side for this, but he blows me away in his interest for machining and metalworking. So, really awesome.
Where's how old is Noah? He's got to be probably about Cody's age, I'd figure.
I think he's 25.
Oh hell, he's older than dirt versus Cody. He's got a foot in the grave.
I turned 21 this year.
Well, guys, it's been fun, but I think I got to cut out here. We're going to get dinner going here in a little bit. Yeah.
It's good to see you, Tom.
Yeah, you too there, brother. Same thing, Doozer.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, man. You
Appreciate
going to try to
it.
do this next Sunday?
I think so. If you guys are up for it, I mean, it's nothing without you guys, you know.
Let's get some other faces in here, or you know, I'm not trying to take away from you, Doozer, but I was talking with Billy Huddleston, Knox Machining there. I don't know if Harold is just kind of
absolutely
or what, but like get everybody together, and you know, each week a creator will take his week and then pick
somebody else could host it.
Right, his 8 people or whatever that he would like to promote and talk about whatever, big machines, little machines, CNC, whatever the topic. I mean, a lot of us will all be here to watch whatever, and we'll all learn something, and that's what I'm all about.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter who hosts it as long as we're all together, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
I got a big mosquito.
But I had fun.
Oh, heck yeah. This is a
Yeah,
ride.
me
I had a
too.
good time on Harold's channel, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I found out about Harold's channel just at one time. I must have been missing the boat forever because that's so cool, you know, what he's doing or was doing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Like, I saw the first one, and I'm like, wow, this is like, these are my teachers. This is where I learned 60% of my machining stuff from. All just sitting there shooting the shit.
Yeah.
Like, this is awesome.
that's right.
You know, and I've watched
yeah.
every one since, and I think only 2 of them I haven't watched live, only because I missed something or I had to mow the lawn or whatever, you know, family ordeal.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I don't know.
But
what
I need
exactly
to figure
happened on
out.
Harold's
Go
end.
ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is late. I think next time I'm going to reboot my computer, and then, you know, I got a whole bunch of websites usually open, tools on eBay. I'm just going to come right to the StreamYard, so nothing else is in memory, and maybe that'll keep it from delay all the time. Maybe it's my fault. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you have for? How many meg do you have for service?
The internet speed?
Yeah.
I think it's 25 or 30 megabytes per second up and down because it's fiber optic, so it's pretty fast.
You got to be more than that.
But I only got a Windows 7 machine. Maybe that's bogging it down.
You can jump that up, but it's potato. I don't know. I mean, I'm running my wife's actual work laptop. I'm
you're
gonna have
Windows
to build
10.
a Raspberry Pi web something. Yeah, this is definitely Windows 10, solid state drive, all the good jazz. You know, and that all helps. And I mean,
I'm stuck in Windows 7.
Do you have a solid state in your computer yet?
You know why I'm stuck on 7? Because SolidWorks works on 7, and it won't work on 10. My copy of SolidWorks.
Oh.
I just need another second computer. That would help.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much I got the one for editing, and then I'm going to build something for out here, especially with that new thing coming in and the whole pile of dull ones I got on the floor. Well, I'm going to have something to keep inventory. And I mean, I can build a Raspberry Pi computer that'll do webcasting for $150. And they're so cool. Plus Raspbian.
So you know more about that than I do. That's really cool. I know they're small computers, but I just never learned about it.
Google. We can Google anything except for this. This is non-Googleable. It just doesn't happen.
Was that a relay socket?
Yeah, that's that 9-pin for the carbide grinder.
That 9-pin bastard.
9-pinned bastard. Yes, it's just a simple.
That looks like a forward reverse switch. Center off.
It is.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
But why does it have 9 pins? That just seems like way too much.
Maybe it's to control a bunch of different motors. I don't know. That thing's just weird.
I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna scratch my brain on it some more. I'll have to sit down and grab the meter and just start ringing out what goes to what. And
did you get the grinder? Is it home?
Yeah. Oh no! Oh, shut up. Yeah, I got the little grinder. Thanks, Doozer. You just let her out of the bag.
What grinder?
Is a good hint. Yes. What grinder?
All right.
All
right. Fair enough. Sorry.
Guy I got over here. Oh, whatever. I'm still working on Shanghai and your Pratt and Whitney. Just so, well, I don't know. I figure I should have both because I got a Pratt and another one.
Well, I'm getting number 2 Cincinnati cutter grinder from work, and they got 2 of them.
Oh, really?
And one's an older one, and one's a newer one, and the newer one's got a longer table and a universal grinding head. So James expressed interest in the number 2. And
he told me that.
So, yeah. So I haven't gotten either of them yet, huh? What?
What was that, Cody?
Oh, I said everyone's getting one of those damn things but me.
Right.
You live in the middle of radioactive desert. You can't have any of the old industry. It's all toxic. You got to go
Hey,
to
once I get my
Seattle.
truck going, I can go wherever I damn well please.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. I want to actually. I talked to Alfred Lyons and I shot a message to Tom Lipton, but he's way too busy moving.
Yeah, I heard that.
And Renzetti as well. I've got all them Christmas tree cutters. I'm back to thinking that it's more of a cobalt steel than carbide. It's definitely nicer than high speed, but it's a little too magnetic to be carbide. I'd like to kind of make a challenge for in the States for those of us with cutter grinders. Just give you a blank, make something cool.
That's true.
You know, but I don't want to rain on Emma's setup right now and anything like that either.
I don't even know what she's doing.
Oh, she's got the
spare room.
Make your own tool 2020 something or other.
Oh yeah.
Tool,
yeah.
Thing going on now.
You could do some wood molding with that cutter. Make some wood crown moldings or something.
What?
It looks like it'd be used for making crown moldings for wood.
Yes. Sorry. I was still thinking about the secret versus what you were talking about. I'm like, how the hell are you going to do that? Yes, we'll grind some moldings. Precision finish.
Yes.
Very expensive sandpaper.
Well, that's what molding cutters kind of look like, right? A Christmas tree? For a wood shaper?
They look like really.
That's what I thought.
Crazy profiles.
Yeah. So, anyways.
My phone's dying.
Yep. Well, I got to end this too. So,
all right.
Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for your help, DJ. Because
I've actually managed to get into that group. Thank you. I've never really talked with you, but thank you, Dan. Thank you as always. You're always around, and we got to get you moving on stuff, Dan. But yeah, let's call this done.
Yeah,
all right. Appreciate it, guys.
Yep.
Q. Thanks for coming. We'll do it again.
Have fun. Yes, absolutely.
Bye-bye.
We'll figure something out.
Goodbye.
All right.